I failed the CompTIA Security Plus exam. Hey y'all, my name is Jasmine, also known as Jasmine of All Trades. If you are new here, welcome, welcome, welcome. I know I don't post a ton, I'm getting better with it, but today, I failed the CompTIA Security Plus exam. I know. I tested at 1 o'clock today, just a few hours ago. And I was very confident, very nervous, very confident, but I failed the test. My score was a 719. Now, if you are or are not aware, the CompTIA scoring is on the lowest end a 750 to pass, on the highest end a 900. So I went in there knowing like there are a few things that I'm like not super confident about, but I feel like I have the bulk of it, the majority of it, to at least get over a passing score, and I missed one or maybe two questions to fail the test. So I'm gonna tell you what I did, what to look out for, and things that I and you, if you are in that situation, will do differently next time, because we're gonna pass. We're gonna pass. Okay, so I am in a tech program. I was blessed to be able to be awarded a scholarship to this program, and I am going for network administration. It is about a 4-month course, and I am halfway through. So I do already have my MS 900 cert, which was my first certification I got through the program. I passed that with like a 920 score out of, I believe, 1,000. So I did really, really good, but I knew that was like a breeze compared to CompTIA Security Plus. So the way that the classes are, they're back to back. So Security Plus was the first class. It transitioned into MS 900. We had a hard test date for MS 900 after about, I think, maybe 3 weeks of learning that. And then I did that and I passed that one. Everything was good, but we already know Sec Plus is a challenge. Now me, I don't have a strong IT background, but I have a strong knowledge of, I wanna say, intermediate level knowledge of IT. I'm very tech savvy. I have been for a long time, and although I've never had a position in it, I know what I'm doing for the most part. But to dig deeper into Security Plus and cybersecurity, that takes more than intermediary information. And I'm gonna let you know what you need to know. I've been studying like crazy. I am currently done, like I said, with the MS 900. I'm currently in a networking class right now. I take my CCST in 7 days, so I take that next Friday. So I was trying to get CompTIA out the way, because right after CCST, I go into my Azure class for that certification. So going into the CompTIA Security Plus, I had an amazing framework and baseline of information. My program taught me very, very, very well. Very fast-paced, very high demand, lots and lots of work, but it's nothing that I couldn't do. So I'm doing it. Now, going into the exam today, Chat GPT, I call her Chat, or La Chat. That's my girl, locked in. We do a lot of work together. When I say that, I learn and then I try to verify with Chat GPT. Another way that I learn ChatGPT is if I am learning something out of the text or out of our PowerPoints, or if I have questions on our test banks, which we take over and over and over, I verify or ask ChatGPT to help me understand it better, to break it down in different ways, to help me remember certain things, and that's how we work together. That's not the answer, that's just a resource. But I utilize that resource a lot because that's what it's there for. I've been studying like crazy. I've been doing the test banks over and over. Now for my course, you had to do the test banks as many times as you want. They did require us to do it so many times, and for Security Plus, you had to do each test bank in testing mode 3 times and get over a 90. Had an interruption. But let's get back to it. I don't know where I left off because I had a phone call, but basically I failed the Security Plus. As soon as I failed, I was at the testing facility 2 doors down, or 2 buildings down from my tech school. So I went back, and I was there before I went, and so they knew I was going to test. I came back. He was like, "You did it?" I was like, "I failed." He was like, "What was your score?" And they tried to uplift me and everything, and they did make me feel really, I already felt confident, you know, but they uplifted me and reassured me, like, "You're coming into this and you got a 719 out of 750. Like, do you know how good that is? You know, and you're testing in a testing facility, you know, so that's your knowledge. Like, you know what you know, and now you know what you don't know, and you could build from that." The only thing is, it's not free to retest. That's the only setback. Like, I wouldn't even be upset like I am if retesting was free. Retesting is not free, and retesting is not cheap. They did cover my test. That's why I am disappointed in myself, but it's not the end of the road. It's just a building block, and I have so many amazing people that have been encouraging me, and one person in particular was seeing kind of me posting on my story, because I don't really talk about it much, but I post like little, you know, tidbits, and if you know, you know. So she reached out and sent me all of these resources, and with all of the things from school that I was doing over and over and over, I did utilize the resources that she sent me, but I could utilize them a lot more. So going into the test, simulations is what you need to really look out for. The instructors tell you they are trying to break you down. As soon as you get into that test, they're going to immediately put the pressure on you. Immediately put the pressure on you, and they did. Those simulations will automatically take your mind all over the place, and that's what it's intended to do. So breathe, get you some good breathing exercises. I did calm myself down and put myself in like a real comfortable space. So I was moving pretty swiftly after the simulations. The simulations kind of hung me up because I knew an order of, you know, some particular simulations that the lady sent me as resources, and they helped me a lot because all of my courses are really test banks, and we do lots of packet tracers, simulations, labs like that, but not like a simulated test question. Mostly just performance, all really performance-based questions, or which are multiple choice, or we will have like a pick 2 or choose 3 type of thing. So going into the test, I had 2 performance questions, and they immediately boggled my mind. But I knew if I can get the majority of it right, hopefully it will all be right. But once I get to the performance base, I feel like I'm gonna, you know, that's gonna be my advantage, my upper hand. So when we got to the performance-based questions, I felt like I was prepared, but they know what they're doing. You know, it's a cybersecurity test. The people on the other side know what they're doing, and they trick you. A lot of my test banks that I did, the questions were pretty lengthy. So you had a beginning and an end, or a beginning, a middle, and an end to the question. Now, the end of the question is what you're looking for. You're looking for those context words and relate them to the term or the right answer. So I pick up on what was going on, but going into the test, the performance questions were really short, and a lot of the answers weren't exactly worded the same. So it may say access control instead of access control list as an answer, which will kind of throw you, because you're like, I know it's an access control list, but you know, process of elimination, if I'm eliminating that out, it's kind of like, okay, they're just trying to trick me. But they do a lot of trickery in these tests, and it got to me. Now, I was really confident with the performance questions. There were some that I was hung up on, and most of those were the acronyms. So we know it's a lot. It's a lot of ports. I actually had like no port questions, and I was prepared for the port questions. I still have the ports in my head. I didn't get to get any of those questions out, but the questions that kind of tripped me up were ones with acronyms, and it would seem like maybe one of the acronyms was something that I was really familiar with, and now I'm feeling like the other ones are either made up or there's something that I didn't put a strong focus on. So I know a lot of my failed questions were probably the acronym questions. So make sure you study up your acronyms, do flashcards, do mock tests over and over and over, and do simulations. Once you get those simulations out the way, if you can be comfortable with those, baby, you got it. I really feel like those are what tripped me up, and you never know how CompTIA grades your exams. So if it's a 5-part question, you don't know if you're getting one answer wrong or if that counts as 5 answers. They don't tell you, they won't tell you. It's like nobody knows. And we know people know, but the people who know, they do a good job at not letting the masses know. So you don't know what answers you missed. They just give you different areas that you need to focus on. Now, like I said, I got a 719 out of 750, meaning I was like 30 points short, 31 points short of passing with a low score. And 31 points is equivalent to like 1 or 2 questions. So again, that's like a percentage, but you still don't know. If we have a question that says, choose 2 answers, does that count as 1 answer? If I get 1 right and 1 wrong, does it count as 0 if I get 1 right and 1 wrong? Or does it count as 2 questions right if I get them both right? We don't know. So it's a lot of trickery, like I said, but focus on simulations. Do mock exams over and over and over. That's one thing that I could have done more of as well. I was so almost burnt out that when I got to the mock exams, it was like, I gotta know this already by now. I crashed out and did simulations right before the test. And when I say crash out, I don't mean go crazy. I mean like pound it into my head, like go over it and over it and over it. So I was going over simulations. I was feeling confident. Once I got in there, that confidence was still there, but it was kind of like, oh, y'all really didn't come to play. So guys, what we're gonna do is retest. We are going to practice everything that we missed. The way that you do that without knowing exactly what you missed is look at those areas of improvement that they tell you that you need to work on. Flashcards, mock exams, mock exams, mock exams, mock exams, simulations, 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 simulations. Do it over and over and over. Beat it into your head. I beat so many things into my head that I know them, but there are some other things that I didn't get as beaten into my head as I needed to. And those things I'm about to go crazy on the learning. And I've already prepared a study sheet and flashcards in my ChatGPT, which I'm gonna go over. I've already prepared a plan, and I plan on retesting within the next 9 days. So like I said, I have my CCST networking exam in 1 week, 7 days from today. So I would like to have my CompTIA done again right before that or right after. But anyway, guys, if you are in the same boat as me, if you failed the Security Plus, don't worry, we got this. Whatever your score is, you know what you know. You know what you know. And now, after failing, you know what you don't know. Before failing, you don't know what you don't know. Like, you know what you know. And I know that makes sense to you. And my instructors kept saying that. Like, you know what you know. Get that out the way. What you don't know, now you know. So focus on that and keep yourself confident about what you do know. But we're gonna pass this thing. My next video, it may be something about fragrance or something, I don't know. But I will follow up with you guys and let you know the next time that I test. And yeah, I may insert some clips because I was doing footage today prior to the test, knowing that I was gonna pass. Okay, I am here. I am getting ready to test for my Security Plus. The Lord is with me. Look at that sun shining bright on. Let me get over here and take my test. And afterwards, it was kind of like, so immediately after leaving the test, I went to my boyfriend's house. He always wants to do something to uplift me and help me, and I just love that about him. So we went to get a bamboo plant, and we went to Namir Nuts, which is one of our favorite places. But if I don't, it doesn't matter. We're gonna pass it next time. You're gonna pass it too. I will see you all later in the next video. Make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe. I don't have that many subscribers. I just need y'all to come on over here. But I also know I need to be more consistent with you guys, and I will be doing that. Hopefully you liked this video. If you did, please like or comment and let me know your experiences, or if you're about to test, and let's chat. All right, y'all. See y'all later. Love you. Bye.